Well, hello everyone. Welcome to FilmDirt on location. Let's see what this cocaine bear is all about. I shall see you on the other side. Well, welcome again everyone. The film is finished. So, what did we think? I wasn't quite expecting that. To be honest, I don't know what I was expecting. It's billed in the UK at least as a horror comedy. I think it should be the other way around. It's more of a comedy horror. It's definitely up for laughs, with lots of shock factor. Gore and horror is definitely played for laughs. Lots of comedy throughout, and very much a parody of the original story that happened in 1985. I read that there wasn't any evidence that the bear that ate all the cocaine that was dropped by drug cartels didn't kill anyone. It was found dead with its stomach full of the drug. It's a shame for the bear, of course, but a film based on that wouldn't sell too many tickets. They've taken that premise and created a horror comedy, I guess, out of it. So just to reiterate now, this is a spoiler review, as are all of my reviews, because I like to talk open and freely about films. I can't dance around spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, I don't want to turn you off my video, of course, but it's better to see a film fresh, and then by all means come back to me here and we can talk about it. So this was directed by Elizabeth Banks and has a great cast, including the amazing Ray Liotta as the main drug baron. The rest of the cast is very serviceable and really fit into their roles. Alden Ehrenreich in particular I thought was very good, as was O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, again very good, as he has been in a lot of the shows he's done. So overall, I love the set pieces littered throughout the film. It's just one event after another. Everything is played for laughs, isn't it? It kind of reminds me of the Dusk Till Dawn films. Remember, they were just body parts flying around with lots of blood, and I think it was all much more entertaining in that film rather than it is here. Don't get me wrong, I loved Cocaine Bear. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I did think at times it did go a little bit too silly. I guess I kind of wanted to see some funny comedy played out a little bit more creatively and I guess more clever. Some of the wisecracking here just makes you groan, and I really wanted to laugh because it was clever rather than just sighing here and there. So the visual effects for the bear, very good. It's very real looking. Some of the animation on the face was a little bit too wayward when it's getting angry. Animals to me don't really emote or have that much movement in their faces as much as we saw in the film. So if they just toned that back a little bit, do we really want to see a real version of it? Probably not. Because the whole tone of the film is a comedy, I think what they did with the visual effects here, it kind of fits in. And it is scary. There are horror moments here, but that only really lasts for a few seconds before someone makes a joke, or you see a moment of gore that is just completely unbelievable. But you know what this film is. It's just an extreme situation played for laughs. Now, I did generally enjoy it. The last act, unfortunately, does drag. The part when they're in the cave, I don't know if you agreed with me, but I think they used a few too many shots that they were probably only filming for safety, and they didn't intend to use all of it. Basically, I think they used a lot of padding. The film is short. I think it's about 1.5 hours, so they probably needed to pad it out a little bit. And a few of those shots in the cave was just a lot of dancing around nothing, where they're trying to get rid of the baby bears and they're holding on to things, and it just didn't really seem to be going anywhere, and that could have been cut right down. And they had all this footage filmed, so they used what they could, probably more than they wanted. I think. And we just about reached an hour and a half. And also it wasn't visually very pleasing to look at because of course it was dark. And I'd rather have seen something a little bit more inventive, maybe outdoors in the forest, even if it was dark outdoors. Maybe it would have been a more interesting setting rather than down in the cave. My picture house last night was about half full. Generally people were laughing, as was myself and my wife who saw it with me, with a few groans at certain parts here and there. And it did go a little bit silent for the last act, which probably confirmed my thoughts that that was the point where the film was probably dragging. It's just a shame that it couldn't finish more on a wow factor, I guess, considering they had license to really invent this story based on a very loose premise that happened in 1985. But let's all agree, the real horror and gore moments are really well done. So I think I'll give this above average score, 3.5. I'd have loved to have given it more if it really held my attention for the full hour and a half, as the real objective of this film was just to entertain. So I'd just like to finish off by mentioning this film was dedicated to the amazing Ray Liotta, who sadly passed away in 2022. I've always enjoyed his work, and I remember hearing a few times that he was occasionally in England and he would often go to see football matches. He supported Spurs, so he would be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And from what I hear, a thoroughly decent and pleasant man, and completely amazing in many movies. So rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Please do join me on the channel next time for more film chat. It was great speaking to you. All the best and take care.